All right, hi guys. I'm Caitlin. I'll be guiding a 20-minute yoga sequence for you today. We won't be really using any props of any kind. However, if you have a blanket or something like that, that might come in handy as we move throughout. To get started, we'll begin in extended child's pose. So if you're using a blanket, I'd recommend putting that in the center of your mat. You'll rest your shins on the blanket, knees will come wide, maybe to the edges of your mat, and then bring the big toes together to touch. From here, you'll crawl the fingertips out in front of you and then rest the forehead on the mat. We'll start here, just allowing the body to settle in and begin to bring awareness to your breathing. To start to deepen your breath, you might fully empty your lungs and then take a fresh breath of air in through your nose, feel your belly expand, and maybe open the mouth, sigh it out. You can do that 1 or 2 more times as you need, allowing yourself to become a little bit more present with this moment right here, right now. And after you've taken a few breath cycles on your own, when you are ready to take your next inhale, you'll take this posture into a lateral stretch to the right side. So simply crawling the fingers over to the right side, head and neck still stay soft, and you're looking to bring some sensation into the left side of your body. Now, if you can't quite feel that right now, try to inch the left fingertips a little farther away than your right fingertips. And at the same time, send your hips closer towards your heels. You'll come back to your breath here. Inhales expand through the left side. Exhales help you soften just a bit more. We'll do that 1 or 2 more times. Good. And again, when you are ready with your next inhale, you'll crawl the fingertips through center. With your exhale, take this to the opposite side. So fingertips move over to the left. Again, head and neck is relaxed. Building more sensation in the right side, maybe inch those right fingertips a little farther away than left. Keeping the hips close to the heels, continue to breathe. And do that 1 or 2 more times as they come to you. And with your next inhale, crawl fingertips back to center. You can pause here again at extended child's pose. Notice any changes in sensation in the side bodies. Again, noticing the breath. With your next inhale, start to walk the fingers closer towards your knees to lift your chest. So lifting up the spine, we'll move into hero's pose. So to set this posture up, you'll bring the knees a little closer together to touch. You can let the hips rest on your heels. And we'll just pause here, again, noticing any change in sensation in the side bodies. Eyes can be closed. We'll be setting up for some focused stretches for the wrists and then the toes. So to start off, you can lift up the knees, plant your right palm in front of your face. So this is going to be a little different for everybody, but you should aim to rest the heel of your palm on the mat. Now, to fine tune into this stretch, you're going to separate your fingers using your left hand. Be extra mindful of your thumb. You'll try to flatten out the thumb with your left hand, and it's okay if that heel of the palm is lifted. But try to place some pressure on top of your right hand with your left palm. Now you might feel the stretch right away here, so you can just stay and breathe into this. If you want a little bit more intensity, you'll start to lean back. You can send the hips a little closer towards heels. And again, we'll hold here and breathe. We'll take 1 or 2 more full cycles of breath as they come to you. Once you've completed your final breath cycle, start to release the stretch by leaning forward. You can free your right hand and flip it the opposite way. So now the top of your right hand rests on the mat. All 5 fingers are spread. You'll make a fist with your left palm and massage out your right palm. This is just a counter stretch for what you just did on the right wrist. Good. Once you've had enough, you can sit back on the heels, circle out that right wrist if it needs some more movement. And then when you're ready, we'll set that up on the opposite side. So lifting the hips, you'll place the palm in front of your face, and again, start to spread the fingers out. Now that left thumb, again, give it some extra attention. Try to flatten it out as much as you can. You'll keep your right palm on top of your left hand, applying some pressure. Now, this may be where you stay. Maybe you lean back for a little bit more intensity. And don't be surprised if this side feels a little different than the first side. But once you settle in, finding appropriate intensity, again, reconnect with your breathing. Taking that last 1 or 2 full deep breath cycles. Once you've completed, you can free the right hand. You'll flip that left palm the opposite way so the top of your hand rests on the mat. All 5 fingers stay fanned out. Make a fist with your right hand and massage out the left palm. Once you've had enough there, you can sit back on the heels, circle out that left wrist if you'd like. Good. Now, we'll move on to the feet next. So from here, you'll tuck your toes under, and you're going to bring the weight back onto your heels. If it's too much to sit on your heels, you can keep the hips lifted, but this is going to be to add a little bit more intensity here. So to finalize the prep for this stretch, you'll want to make sure your pinky toes are also tucked under. A lot of times they don't want to. So try to engage all 10 toes in the posture, and again, hips can stay lowered or lifted for less intensity. We'll be staying here for a few breaths in order to stretch the ball mounds of the feet. So to bring some distraction in, to bring the mind away from the feet, you can reach the arms up overhead. We'll set up eagle arms. So your right arm will swing underneath your left, and you'll cross at the elbows. From here, you can either bring the arms to the outsides of your shoulders, giving yourself a hug, or you can bring the backs of your palms together. Now, if you want even more intensity, over time, you'll bring the insides of your palms together. But meet yourself where you are today, whatever feels most appropriate, something that you can still breathe through. So whatever variation you have in the upper body, I'll invite you to relax through the shoulders, steady your gaze, or perhaps close the eyes. We'll hold here for 3. You'll release your arms in 2 and 1. Unwind your arms. You can plant the palms on the mat and then release the toes. You can tap the tops of the feet on the mat just to bring some blood flow back into the feet. Do that as much as you'd like. And then once you've had enough, I'll give you the option to set up a second round for the feet. But if that was enough and you don't want to do a second round, you can just rest on the tops of your feet, finding hero's pose once again. So decide first if you want to stay rested here. Second round of the toes, again, you'll tuck them under. Remember to bring those pinky toes in, and we'll set that up on the opposite side. So once you're settled, sweeping fingertips up overhead. This time the left arm will sweep underneath right. And again, you decide. Maybe you hug the shoulders, maybe bring backs of palms together. Full expression brings the insides of the palms together. Whatever feels most appropriate for you. You'll soften through the shoulder blades, relax your gaze, maybe close the eyes. Settling back into your breath. We'll hold here for 3. Arm variations release in 2 and 1. Unwind your arms, plant the palms, and again, if you took that toe stretch, tap out the feet, letting some blood flow come back. Once you've completed, you can drop the hips back to your heels. We'll rest here in hero's pose just for a moment, letting any of that sensation settle. So palms rest on the thighs or kneecaps, eyes fall closed, and let your awareness simply come back to your breath. We'll take one more full inhale as it comes to you, and full exhale, empty out. If eyes are closed, blink them open. You're going to lift the hips and stack your hips right over your kneecaps. So what I mean by that, you want to make sure knees and hips are in alignment. A good trick is to take your 2 fists and move them in between your knees. That's about the width that most of us need to find that proper alignment. So once you have that width in the knees, you can lift the hips again and bring your hands to your low back. You'll press your hips forward so your pelvis aligns over your kneecaps. We're setting up here for camel pose Ustrasana, and this may be where you stay for this posture. If you feel enough sensation in your body, You can draw the shoulder blades together, relax the shoulders down the back, find a steady gaze, and reconnect to your breath. If you're looking for some more intensity in this posture, you'll keep pressing the pelvis forward as you start to walk the gaze up in front of you. Maybe you tilt your gaze up towards the ceiling. If you're looking at the ceiling, check back in with your hips, see if you can send the pelvis even more forward. And remember to keep breathing here. Whatever you have, we'll hold here for 3. We'll come out of the posture with control in 2 and 1. As slow as you came in, start to walk the gaze across the ceiling, down the wall, and you'll rest the hips back onto the heels, find hero's pose. Palms resting on the thighs or kneecaps, eyes will fall closed. Again, just noticing any change in sensation, relaxing back into your breath. We'll take one more full inhale as it comes to you. And full exhale, empty out. You can blink your eyes open. We'll be moving back into extended child's pose for just a moment. So bring the knees wide on the mat once again. Big toes stay together to touch. You'll crawl the fingertips forward and again rest the forehead on the mat. Your eyes again can fall closed. You might rock the forehead a little side to side, massaging out the space between your eyebrows. When you're ready from here, we'll take those lateral stretches once more. So with an inhale breath, fingertips crawl over to the right side. And you're looking again for a stretch on the left side body. So maybe inch those left fingertips a little farther away than right. You'll sink back into your breath. Inhales expand the left rib cage. Exhales help you soften. One more just like that as you're ready. Big inhale. And full exhale. With your own inhale breath, crawl fingertips through center. With your own exhale breath, crawl fingertips to the opposite side. So feeling the right side body light up. Try to soften as much as you can through the head, neck, and shoulders. Coming right back to your breath. One more full breath in as you're ready. And full breath out. With your own inhale, crawl fingertips back through center. Once you arrive there, start to tuck the knees together to touch. And this time you'll bring the arms along your sides. This is traditional child's pose. So just a slight variation on extended child's pose. And I'll invite you here to notice the side bodies. Relaxing the head as much as you can. Coming back into your breath. Now, if this feels restorative on your body, you're welcome to stay here for the last half of this posture. But if you'd like a little bit more for the upper back and shoulders, you can take this into rabbit pose. To do that, you'll wrap the arms, hands, around the outsides of your heels. You'll tuck the chin towards the chest and place the top of your head on the mat. From here, you'll send the hips up towards the ceiling while you keep your hands wrapped around your heels. Now, if you're taking this variation, remember to keep with your breath. Inhales expand through your vertebrae. Exhales help you soften. We'll take 2 more just like that. Once you've completed, if you're in rabbit, you'll release the hands, let the hips drop back to the heels, and then everyone will slowly start to roll up to a seat, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Head is the last thing to come up. Good. Again, we'll rest here in hero's pose, just letting any of that sensation settle. Noticing the breath move in and out. One more full inhale as you're ready. Full exhale, empty out. You can blink the eyes open. We'll be making our way onto our backs for our last series. So if you have that blanket, you might want to move it behind your head so you have some support, but start to get yourself comfortable lying on your back. And once you are laying down, you can bring a bend to the knees, plant both soles of feet on the mat, and sway the knees a little side to side, just feeling your hip points connect to the ground. We'll be moving into a supine twist. So find stillness in the low body. You can let the left leg go long. Your right knee will hug in towards your chest. Interlace the fingers around your right kneecap. And then you're going to squeeze that kneecap in towards your armpit. Now you'll take a big inhale to prepare. With your exhale, you'll find a twist. So cross the right leg over your body and then extend the right fingertips out wide. So our first twist of practice, be mindful of your shoulders. That right shoulder should have a firm connection with the mat, even if that means that right knee lifts up a bit. Now you'll use your breath here rather than force to move deeper through this twist. So with each inhale expanding through the belly, each exhale softens the twist. You can do that 2 or 3 more times on your own. Final breath cycle as it comes to you. With your own inhale, you'll start to release this twist, so cross the right leg back over your body. Good. Once you get there, you can switch out your legs. So the left knee comes in, right leg extends long. Switch your hands so they interlace over the left kneecap and give that knee a little squeeze. You'll take a full inhale to prepare. Exhale, cross the left leg over. This time, left fingertips extend out wide. Remember to stabilize through the shoulders first, and then using your breath rather than force, move deeper through the twist. We'll take our last full inhale as it comes to you. And full exhale, empty out. With your own breath in, cross the left knee back through center. Once you arrive there, you can draw both knees in towards your chest. You might wrap the arms around the shins, rock a little side to side, massaging out your spine. Once you've had enough, you can release the palms by the sides, guide the feet back to the mat about hip-width distance apart. Our last 2 postures of class will focus in on the hips. So, setting up for bridge pose. You'll walk the heels a little closer towards your glutes, and then release all the air from the lungs. With your inhale, press into feet, start to lift the hips up off the mat. And again, you can stay here if you'd like, but if you want a little bit more for the shoulders, you can grasp opposite elbows underneath your middle back. Maybe you interlace fingers underneath your hips. Now, if you choose this option, you'll roll the shoulder blades together, feel your heart open just a bit more. And whatever variation you have in the arms, release your glutes, use your quadriceps instead, keep lifting through the pelvis. Most importantly, keep breathing here. We'll hold for 3. Chest expansions release if you have them in 2. In 1, carefully undo your arms. 1 vertebrae at a time, you'll guide the hips back down to the mat using control. Once your hips touch down, you'll let the toes crawl a few inches towards the end of your mat and then widen your stance. So feet will come to the edges of your mat and then let the knees fall together to touch. This is fallen bridge pose. It's a simple counter posture just to release those lower vertebrae. You can guide the hands to your low belly if you'd like, and allow yourself to feel the breath move. With each inhale, your belly expands. With each exhale, feel it fall. We'll take 1 more full breath in as you're ready, and full breath out. Good. You can start to toe heel your feet all the way together to touch. So the soles of your feet will come together this time, knees fall wide. You can keep 1 hand over your low belly, move 1 hand to your heart. This is our last posture before we move into final Shavasana. So allow yourself just a moment here to send some gratitude for your body. You might tune in even closer once again, just feeling the breath move in and out through your abdomen. And if you move your awareness to the opposite palm over your heart, maybe you can feel your heartbeat. We'll take 1 more full breath in as it comes to you, and full breath out. You can release your hands, bring them by your sides. Let the legs go long. You can take up some space on your mat, getting yourself comfortable. And for our final posture, Shavasana, our only job here is to rest in stillness. It's a rare opportunity that we get these few moments to fully surrender and fully let go. So give yourself permission to just rest, to simply be. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like, but if you are ready to move on with your day, you'll start to bring some small movement back into your body, wiggling the fingers and the toes. You might open and close the jaw or move the eyebrows. You can grow that movement to larger joints, circling out the ankles and wrists. Eventually, you could bend elbows and knees. If you want to take a long body stretch, reach arms up overhead. Maybe take a fresh breath of air in and a full breath out. In your own time, you can carefully make your way up to a seated position. And we'll close our practice together. So, finding a comfortable seated position, you can bring your hands to your heart center. Lift the thumbs to the third eye center, that space between the eyebrows. And together, let's bow as one. Namaste.